Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kutu here with another one. This time I want to discuss the 7 most important nutrients for muscle building and recovery, other than protein. So I'm in the gym a lot, and I'm watching guys lift hard. You know how it is in the gym, guys putting plates on and trying to get one last rep in, trying to do one more, screaming, yelling, and then they go off at the end of the gym and they go get a protein shake or go get a steak or a burger, because we've all been taught that protein is the key to muscle development. This is debatable, but there is no denying that protein is important. Proteins were discovered as distinct molecules in the early 1800s by a variety of scientists, including Antoine Fourcroy, Gerardus Mulder. Proteins were named by a Swiss chemist named Berzelius. So for almost 200 years, the importance of protein in muscle development has been discussed. So this has been great, but it's also not been great. Not so great because the importance of other equally vital nutrients has been understudied or just flatly ignored, and the importance of protein has been very much overreported and in some instances exaggerated. You can easily find some protein shake, protein powder, amino acid concoction, even without trying. You go to the gym, that's what they're selling. You know, they'll sell you all these different kind of protein shakes, protein bars, protein this and that. I'm not suggesting that these things are bad, but the underutilization of other nutrients is most definitely bad. So that's the purpose of this video, is to inform you on the importance of these other nutrients in muscle building and muscle recovery. In fact, I'm going to identify what I believe to be the 7 most important nutrients for muscle building and recovery. Sometimes your muscles fail not because of a lack of protein. Sometimes your muscles won't grow not because you don't have enough amino acids, but due to a lack of various vitamins and minerals. So I really want to start by just making it clear that all nutrients are important to muscle growth and development, and deficiencies can negatively affect your development. So I've chosen the 7 most important, because that's just what I do. So before we get into the list of the 7 most important, let me just talk about a few that didn't make the list, the honorable mentions. So these honorable mentions are those that didn't make the list of 7. They're no less important, but I had to limit it to 7. So let's start out with iron. So I really had to think long and hard about iron because it's very important. Iron is important because it helps with the formation of hemoglobin and myoglobin. This helps carry oxygens to the various parts of the body, including the muscles. So a lack of iron can cause fatigue and weakness, and may be the reason why you lack energy to complete that last rep. It's just that you have to be careful with iron because too much can be problematic. Phosphorus is another. It's a critical component of producing and utilizing ATP, which gives us the energy to do virtually everything we do, including work out. A deficiency in phosphorus could lead to low energy levels. Vitamin E. So due to its antioxidant properties, it seems that vitamin E may be helpful in improving recovery after workout. probably important to muscle repair, which helps you get back to working out sooner rather than later. So at this time, vitamin E needs to be studied a little more as far as its effectiveness and it's important to muscle growth, muscle development. So another is zinc. Zinc plays a serious role in the growth, building, and repair of muscle tissue. Obviously, it's important. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to grow your muscles, build them up. And the only way that happens is when you work out, you tear your muscles, little microscopic tears, and they have to be repaired. That's usually that soreness that you're feeling. And zinc plays a vital role in that. It's also important in energy production. It helps balance thyroid hormone levels, which can affect metabolism and thus your ability to burn fat. Clearly, low levels of zinc can have an impact on muscle building and recovery, but be careful with supplementing with zinc because it can impact your copper stores. So now all of those are the honorable mentions, and they're all important. Most people, if you're eating a well-balanced diet, you should be able to get the proper amounts of these without heavy supplementation. Women should take great care, though, with their iron status due to the monthly menstruation and blood loss, which can deplete iron. So get what's called a micronutrient panel. So this is a type of test. Sometimes it's called a micronutrient test. It actually tests, depending on the facility where you go, it tests your micronutrients, your vitamins, your minerals. It can do your amino acids. So you can test those to see what your status. It's very important to find out, where you are deficient possibly, because you really don't want to go doing supplementation if you don't really need to. It's always best to get your nutrients from food. I'm a big advocate of that. And if you're eating a good diet, natural foods, etc., you should be getting enough of your nutrients. But if you're working out, you're depleting those nutrients. Your muscles need them. Even if you're doing cardio and you're doing biking or running, you're losing a lot of nutrients. So often you do need to make sure you are eating much more nutrient-dense foods. So let's get into the 7. All right. Now this is in no order. I just put it alphabetically because I didn't want to put it in any order, because then people would have argued and debated on which one is most important and all this, and why do I have such and such number 1. So these are not in any particular order except alphabetical. So we're going to start with the B vitamins, the 7 most important nutrients for muscle building and recovery, the B vitamins. Now, I'm cheating a little bit because there's 9 or so, 8, 9 B vitamins, and they're all important. So instead of doing each individually, I would have blew my whole list. So I just listed them as one, the B complex vitamins. So take B1, for example. This is known as thiamine. That's important for muscle growth and energy production. It's responsible to help transport hemoglobin to the cells, which is important for oxygenating the cells. B3, which we know as niacin, and B5, those are responsible for energy production. Folate and cobalamin, folate is B9, cobalamin B12. They're responsible for the production of red blood cells, protein synthesis, and muscle and tissue repair. B9 and B12 are critical to the functionality of the central nervous system, which gives orders and instructions to muscles, leading to our muscle contractions and relaxations. I think we can all understand why the B vitamins are very important. The increased red blood cells give us energy. Protein synthesis, that needs no explanation, all right, because you need, even if you're getting protein, if your body can't properly make it, it's gonna be of no use to you. So being deficient in the B vitamins is not helpful no matter how much protein you have. Let's go to the next one, number 2, calcium. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in the body, So this should give you an idea of how important it is. In terms of working out, calcium is important to muscle contraction and the growth and repair of bone tissue. One of the big problems a lot of bodybuilders run into is their bones are not strong enough to do what they're asking it to do as far as the muscles are concerned. Remember, the muscles are, hanging on the bones, and you could cause yourself a lot of problems if your bones are not developed enough to carry all that muscle. Muscle can get very heavy, and you really need strong bones to help you with your size and to help how you look. That's why a lot of bodybuilders hurt themselves. And many athletes, they really underestimate the importance of proper bone development and muscle building. If your bones are weak, you won't be able to carry that muscle around. All right, so number 3 is copper. Now, a lot of people will debate this. Copper, and one of the reasons, and I understand if people disagree with this, but copper, the studies on copper haven't been as plentiful as some of the other nutrients, but I just have this feeling that we're going to find out in the next 10 years or so that copper is vital. So in terms of working out, copper is important to the transportation of oxygen, and it increases blood flow during your workout. So there's your energy right there. All right, so it's bringing in oxygen, it's helping with your blood flow. Muscle growth, a lot of it is about blood flow, and copper is very important in that. Number 4 is magnesium. Magnesium is important to energy production through its role in carb, fat, and protein metabolism. So again, if you gulping down all those protein shakes and protein bars, magnesium is something that you need to help to metabolize all that good protein that you're probably wasting a lot of money on, to be honest. So this mineral helps you to break down and use those foods that you've eaten to enhance your workout, your size, your energy levels, etc. So let's get into number 5, potassium. So in addition to creating electrolyte balance, potassium is important in helping to produce signals in the nervous system that lead to muscle contraction. Depletion of this vital mineral could impair your ability to lift and also recover. So you can't contract, you can't move that muscle, you can't do one more. Maybe you don't need a bunch of more protein, you need some potassium, right? How about number 6? Number 6 is vitamin C. So vitamin C, I think, is probably the most important nutrient a human being can have, along with D. It's an antioxidant, among other things. Vitamin C, it helps against oxidative stress, which may in turn help in improving recovery. So when you're working out, it's a lot of oxidation, lots of oxidative stress, a lot of free radical formation, and vitamin C helps to clean that all up, which could help you in your recovery. It also helps in the formation of collagen, which is what the connective tissue joining muscles are made of. All right, so that's going to be something that helps to assist with preventing injuries in your muscles. Vitamin C also assists in the absorption of iron, thus assisting in oxygen and energy levels, and also assists in the formation and release of testosterone. So I don't think I need to explain why testosterone is important in terms of muscle growth, development, repair. Vitamin C helps assist in that formation. So as you get older, you're going to want to take more vitamin C instead of going to the guy in the back of the gym or in the locker room and asking him if he has something. You can naturally help yourself develop and maintain that testosterone level. Okay, so let's get into the last one, number 7, and in my estimation, this is actually the most important one, and this is vitamin D. Vitamin D, we call it vitamin, but it's more like a hormone, all right? It's crucial to calcium absorption, which I discussed earlier, It's impactful on levels of phosphorus, which I discussed in the honorable mentions. And some evidence suggests it helps to boost testosterone levels, which I just discussed with vitamin C. And it's crucial to the central nervous system and skeletal muscle. Vitamin D receptors exist almost everywhere in your body, so the importance of it, I don't even think we've been able to scratch the surface of how important vitamin D is. So there you have it. Those are the 7 most important nutrients for muscle building and recovery. In a separate video, which would be part 2 of this, I'm going to discuss which foods you can eat to get these nutrients. So, thank you for listening. Move on to part 2. And I will leave you as I came, wishing you peace and paradise. And remember, always educate yourself.